This feels weird, Caleb.
It does feel very, very weird. Though it's, the days are getting darker, so
Right.
it's not feeling super, super weird.
Right. The lighting outside is definitely normal. It's kind of weird. It feels like the darkness is starting,
Oh,
but like a month from now, the days technically start getting longer.
I can't wait. I think that's the one thing I hate about winter. Like, well, obviously the cold and stuff like that, but just so dark.
Yeah. We got our first snowfall yesterday,
Mm-hmm.
and we didn't get hit as bad as I thought we were going to get hit. But I'm just walking around. I was like, oh, yeah, that's right. This shit again.
Dude, our interstate's closed.
Yeah, I guess Fargo got like piss pounded.
Mm-hmm.
But because it's closed all the way to the border.
Yeah, so now it's open though, right?
I would assume so.
Yeah, no, it was closed like all night. It was wild.
Yeah. Sucks to suck.
You know what doesn't suck though?
What's that, Caleb?
Welcome to Balls and Blasters, episode 16. Yeah, we're on
Yes.
16. Wow.
Episode 16, Thanksgiving edition.
Yes.
Kind of.
Kind of, yes. We are expecting a shorter episode this week as it is Thanksgiving. And, it's Thanksgiving.
Right. We just got off work. Usually it's get off work, eat, or go to the gym or do something else and then record, but it's just off work straight to here because I assume we have plans after this.
Yes, we have plans after this. It is, as the kids say, Blackout Wednesday here. So,
I see you're dressed appropriately.
yes, I'm literally dressed in what I wore to work today. I think you are as well.
For the most part, yes. So this is a very hopefully it doesn't feel rushed, but I think just the nature of our topics, it's going to be kind of a shorter podcast.
I'm my topic, 30 minutes max.
Yeah, I do have my normal a lot of notes, but it shouldn't take super long to get through them. I don't think, but you never know.
Oh, and I'm Caleb.
I'm Austin.
Yeah, if you guys haven't been here before, you'll catch along pretty quick. Balls and Blasters. He's sports. I'm nerd. And together we teach each other about the other's genre.
He is the blaster to my balls.
Gosh darn right I am. Oh, also, before we begin, my sister's going to hate me for this. Congratulations to Robert Irwin and Whitney Carson for winning the Len Goodman mirror ball in Dancing with the Stars.
I follow two people on Snapchat that post every single episode and every single outcome. So I know this, actually, even though I've never watched it.
Yes. I was rooting for you, though, Jordan Childs. Remember that. But Robert was my number one, always.
Well, shout out to Robert.
All right. So we start out by doing a rock, paper, scissors match. And I think this episode, we are going to shout out what we say.
Right. Just so for the audio people at home, there's not just a random dead silence for like 10 seconds. So tic-tac-toe record through 15 episodes is currently myself 10, Caleb 5. So I guess we'll see if Caleb can pull a little bit closer. Maybe start making this a little more competitive, huh?
I got up to 33%. I can't go further. So I always ask if it's on shoot, but I think we should do it rock, paper, scissors, and then we shout out our thing instead of shoot. Like rock, paper, scissors, rock, So
Yeah, I guess that's what you're saying. I don't know if my physical and mental are going to line up to do that correctly.
Well, fix yourself. Like, rock, no, I'm a paper. Okay.
We'll just say shoot, and then
Okay, we'll say shoot. and then we'll go.
We'll say what the outcome was. How about that?
Okay.
Just for one episode, we'll see how it goes.
This is real time. It's managing how this episode's going. Okay, let's just go. Okay, rock, paper, scissors, shoot. Or scissors.
Double scissors.
Rock,
Rock, paper, scissors, shoot.
Double scissors again. Rock, paper, scissors, shoot. No!
Yes. I almost did it for the meme. But I held back and I won because that's just what I do.
Austin threw out a rock. He didn't do the triple scissors. Hey, ready?
Yeah.
Thank you for that. All right, and also, we do have some baking going on in downstairs. So if you do hear any baking equipment this episode, just know that great pies and cookies are being made.
If you hear a fire alarm, don't be alarmed.
Yes. We just had them checked, so. I don't, all right, Austin, what is your Thanksgiving episode topic today?
Well, it's Thanksgiving, it's sports. I had to talk about football, of course.
Obviously.
It only makes sense. But I'm not going to talk about NFL football today. Frankly, I find NFL Thanksgiving games very boring.
Mm-hmm.
Maybe that's just because my entire childhood, the Lions would get crapped on every single time. But now they're actually good. And instead of it being competitive, now it's just the Lions crapping on everybody. So it's like, did we really solve the problem here? And there's 3 games. I don't remember the middle game, but the night game is the Bengals and the Ravens, and that might not even be a good game. I don't want to talk about NFL football today.
I do have one question about NFL football, though.
Yeah.
Before we continue. Is it always the same teams that play on Thanksgiving?
The Detroit Lions always play on Thanksgiving. Everything else kind of rotate. It's the I take that back. It's the Detroit Lions and the Dallas Cowboys that always play on Thanksgiving. I can't remember who did it first. It feels like a Cowboys thing to do first, but it's always
rough and tough Cowboys.
Rough and tough. It's always the Lions facing somebody and the Cowboys facing somebody, and then they usually throw a primetime game on. One of our Lions fans told me, it's like, you got to mention that one Family Guy scene where Brian is getting growled at by a bunch of lions, and Brian's like, aren't you guys supposed to be in Detroit losing a football game right now? I don't know. I don't know if you've seen that one.
I think I have, and that's pretty funny. And I don't know much about NFL football, but I do know Family Guy.
So, anyways, for not talking about the NFL, that's a lot of NFL talk. So, of course, it's Thanksgiving. It's a week of thanks and family and spreading love and friendship and all that good stuff. So naturally, I want to talk about college football hate week.
Oh, this is gonna be so funny. Our topics are a little similar.
Okay,
let's see what here's going on.
So, just the way the college football calendar has evolved over the years. Naturally, the 12th and the last game of the regular season for all these college football teams happens the week of Thanksgiving. And it's always the last game is always a rivalry game. It's always rivalry week. So it's a sort of Thanksgiving tradition amongst college football fans. So I figured we did an episode probably close to a couple months ago now about some cool college football rivalry trophies.
The shillelagh.
We talked about the Drew Shillelagh, the Golden Sombrero.
Oh, yeah. And
then what was the other one? Oh, the Paul Bunyan's axe.
And they took it. They stole
it. This is similar to that, but instead of going in depth on trophies or a rivalry specifically, I wanted to talk about a few of my favorite rivalry week games I've personally watched over the years. So, with that introduction, I will jump right into my very first game that I like to talk about. This game is dubbed the Ole Miss Piss.
Austin, can you explain to us why it's called the Ole Miss Piss?
Do you have any guesses?
Was it raining at all?
No, I think the weather was fine for the most part.
Like piss, does piss mean like they like just pissed on them? Like they just hardcore like just destroyed them, or like were somebody mad, or like were they pissed hammered or something like that?
It's kind of all of the above. You will soon learn. One thing I forgot to say, one thing I love about College Football Hate Week, and that you'll see in these 3 games I talk about, there is always something wacky and weird, which is what we're going to get into. There's always a game that is just, it's an instant classic. We're going to remember that one for a long time. And there's always a moment, a play where we'll never, ever forget that it ever happened. So,
you know, a play I'll never forget that happened in college football.
What's that?
I wasn't there to witness it, but it was when that one Ohio guy dropped the ball. He had one more foot to go in, and he dropped the ball and they ran it back for a touchdown.
That has happened so many times in football, and I don't understand it.
just get in the line.
Just go in the end zone.
All right, I'll stop taking up your time.
The Ole Miss Piss. This game took place on November 28th, 2019, between Ole Miss, or the University of Mississippi, and Mississippi State.
A lot of SIs,
yes. A lot of doubles in there. This rivalry is traditionally called the Egg Bowl, or the Battle for the Golden Egg.
Oh, so it's one of those bowls, one of the 100 of bowls.
Not necessarily.
Oh, because those happen.
Those happen after the season.
Oh, okay.
We'll talk about a different bowl in our last topic that is also not. It's just it's a yearly game that happens. So
and it's in the bowl.
It's in a stadium.
Yeah.
It's the Egg Bowl, Battle for the Golden Egg. This is your classic flagship university versus land grant university. University of Mississippi, Mississippi State. Another example, North Dakota versus North Dakota State. That
you know that
kind of idea. So that's what this is. There is a trophy. It is literally a big golden egg football thingy. It's been handed out to the winners every year since 1927. Ole Miss leads the all-time series 66-46, and then there's been 6 ties. They first met in 1901.
Dang. So way over 100 years ago.
Yes, these guys have been duking it out for a long time.
In the Egg Bowl.
Important note for these schools. Traditionally, these schools are like the definition of mid.
Oh, yeah. they're a solid like C+, B-.
Pretty much. A good year for these teams is getting to 10 wins.
Okay.
Most of the time, they're somewhere between 5 to 8 wins.
So not even like the Celtics, where they're not playoff. They're not finishing out the playoffs, but they're always good. They're below that.
Right. They're average, sometimes above average, sometimes below average. Both the schools are. So, Ole Miss's 2019 season up until this very game was not very good. They were bad. They were 3-8. They were third to last in the entire Southeastern Conference. They were competitive, though. 4 of their losses were by 1 score. So they could be 7-4 right now, but instead they're 3-8. The nature of college football. It's just it's a worse than average season for them. Just a mediocre team trying to truck along. Mississippi State, up until this point, also not really that good. They're 5-6. They're in the bottom half of the SEC standings. They had a kind of a weird season where every team that they were better than, they kicked the crap out of. Every team that they were worse than, they would lose. It was
so quite the opposite of.
Yeah.
Wait, so who's this? Is Mississippi State
that we're talking about right now.
Yeah, and then University
of Mississippi
is the closer games.
Yes, correct.
Okay.
Correct. It's an important game because it's a rivalry game for the schools. It's an important game for Mississippi State because if they win and they get to 6 wins, they become eligible for one of those bowl games at the end of the season. You need 6 wins to be automatically eligible for one of those games. Some important background. Last year, 2018, in the context of this game, was dubbed the Egg Brawl because the teams got into a heated fight in the middle of the game that led to some suspensions and some ejections. This game also takes place at Mississippi State. And if you've watched college football, this is the most annoying home crowd in all of college football because every single fan owns a cowbell, and that is their noisemaker for the game. So it's like 70,000 cowbells.
So it's like, hey, after like the second time, it's like, okay, the joke's not funny anymore.
To them, it is. The NCAA tried to step in and because they would just ring these cowbells all the time because it makes so much noise you can't hear what's going on if you're the opposing team. NCAA tried to step in and get them to stop doing it before certain times on the play clock during the actual play. It's a mess. It doesn't work. So that is our mini introduction to the Egg Bowl, Ole Miss versus Mississippi State. Let's get into the game itself. We'll click quickly, easy for me to say, go through scoring. Mississippi State opens the game with a 72-yard touchdown drive to make it 7-0. They then double their lead over Ole Miss with a very lengthy 13-play drive to make it 14-0. Not so fast. Ole Miss responds very quickly with a 10-play, 81-yard drive, makes it 7-14. And then right before halftime, they scored just again to make it a tie game, 14-14 at halftime. So it's Mississippi State starts hot, and then Ole Miss comes back, boom, tie ball game going into half. A lot like a lot of Ole Miss's close games they've played this year. To start the second half, Mississippi State gains the lead 21-14. That is one touchdown, one possession game. So it's kind of a slugfest after Mississippi State takes a 21-14 lead. Then, with 2 minutes and 6 seconds left in the game in the fourth quarter, Ole Miss gets the ball at their own 18-yard line. They have 82 yards to go. Well, they do go 82 yards. Excuse me. They do go 82 yards. They score a touchdown on a 2-yard touchdown pass from quarterback Matt Corral to wide receiver Elijah Moore with 4 seconds left in the game. Woo, big rivalry game moment. We're going to kick the PAT and go to overtime. Not so fast, my friends. Elijah Moore was very excited about scoring this touchdown pass. Very, very excited.
Would some say too excited?
I would argue too excited. Naturally, Elijah Moore has to celebrate this momentous achievement. And to celebrate, he gets down on all fours, crawls to the back of the end zone, and pretends to piss on the Mississippi State end zone like a dog.
I can understand why this is called the Ole Miss piss
now. You can't do that at any level of football. That is a 15-yard unsportsmanlike conduct penalty. So this is enforced. You have the choice. You can enforce it on the point after attempt, or you can enforce it on the kickoff. If you're Mississippi State, Mississippi State decides college kickers ain't worth a damn, and they put the yardage on the ensuing point after attempt. Remember, it's 21-20. Touchdowns are 6 points. 21-20. Ole Miss needs to kick this PAT to tie the game to send it to overtime. Well, as I'm sure we can all tell, some foreshadowing here. The Ole Miss kicker does in fact miss this PAT. He missed it pretty badly, if I remember correctly.
Just hit it straight, dude.
Yeah, just hit it straight. It's not that hard. Ole Miss then goes for an onside kick because there's 4 seconds left, and now they're losing by 1 point. They don't recover the game. They recover their onside kick. Mississippi State kneels it out. Game over. Mississippi State wins because Ole Miss pissed the game away.
They get to go to a bowl.
So they do get to go bowling. They win the Egg Bowl to go bowling even more. Going into this game, there was a lot of media were thinking whoever loses this game, their head coach is getting fired. Well, Ole Miss head coach Matt Luke was fired after losing this game. He had a couple bad seasons in a row. He was on the hot seat. They said, "Get this guy out of here." You know, good for Mississippi State. You win your rivalry game. You go bowling. Everything's great. Nope. Mississippi State loses their bowl game to Louisville, and they fire their head coach, Joe Moorhead. So
it was just a matter of time.
So the Ole Miss Piss, a fitting name for many reasons.
Yes, one in particular.
One very much in particular. Any thoughts and opinions on the 2019 version of the Egg Bowl?
Does that? I feel like that does happen a lot. Like we're both like just getting over some sickness right now.
Yes.
Does that happen a lot with like celebrations, like especially in college?
College, some of the guys get pretty crazy with some stuff. There's always sore. Like I remember there was controversy. Like there's like the seatbelt celebration where you strapping somebody into the seatbelt, and people thought it looked like sheathing a sword.
Oh.
But then, when wide receivers and running backs get a first down, they like to point forward to move the chains, and people started to think they were pointing guns. Yeah.
Well, you can't get fined in college, though, can you?
No, but you can get penalized, for excessive celebration. So, I thought the pen dropping was my mic dropping. I was like, no. So yes, it's not the first time someone's been flagged for celebrating and it's cost their team the game. Not the first time it's happened.
Well, yeah, but in the NFL, you can get fined for it. I know
Yes,
that, which
is correct.
Makes it a little bit worse for you.
Right, and that's a whole different conversation. Okay, game number 2. Dos. Game number 2 I want to talk about is called, by definition, The Game.
Oh, it's got something crazy has happened for this to be called The Game.
The Game.
Excuse me.
Continue. I should say specifically, the rivalry itself is called The Game.
Oh, so there's many of The Game.
There's many of the games. I am, of course, talking about the University of Michigan versus Ohio State University.
Ohio.
This is one of the fiercest rivalries in all of American professional sports. These two schools are top. I actually have the note. Michigan football has the most wins all time in college football. Ohio State has the second most wins all time in college football. There's been many. You're good. There's been many brawls and fights throughout the course of this rivalry's history. Michigan leads the all-time series 62-51-6, with the first meeting being in 1897.
So like
1897, which it's not the oldest that I'm going to talk about.
No video games. That rivalry takes place before the events of Red Dead Redemption 2.
That's kind of crazy.
Like that's how in that game, like it's kind of old. I'm so sorry, guys. I didn't cough all day, so of course I had to cough all right now.
This version of the game that will be why do they call it The Game? I think it's just because it's one of the two most historic programs in the history of the sport.
It's like the game wasn't even invented. They invented the game, apparently.
This edition takes place on November 26th, 2016. It's number 3 Michigan versus number 2 Ohio State. This is only the second time in the history of the rivalry that both teams have been ranked inside the top 3. Remember, they've played over like 120 times. Now, Michigan's season in 2016 up to this point, this is their second straight year of resurgence under Jim Harbaugh. Remember, we talked about Jim Harbaugh in an earlier episode?
He's very controversial.
He is. Michigan had been a very middling program up until 2015 when they hired Jim Harbaugh. Jim Harbaugh leads them to 10 wins in his first season, and he is again has them on the brink of not only the college football playoff, back into the picture for the national championship. Michigan football is in a very good spot right now with Jim Harbaugh. And they are currently ranked number 3, but they were ranked as high as number 2 in the college football rankings. They're looking for an appearance in the Big Ten championship game. It would be their first one in a long time.
Is this the Big Ten that's actually like the Big 15?
Yes. Yes. Ohio State, up until this point, they were the preseason favorite to win not only the Big Ten, but the national championship. They have one loss on the year. I should say Michigan is Michigan has one loss. Ohio State also only has one loss. They lost to Penn State. This was a historic win for Penn State. This was like Penn State is back win for them by beating Ohio State.
Were they actually back?
Yes, they were. It was a very, very good season for Penn State. This game is important because it's a rivalry. There's college football playoff implications. Also, it matters a lot because the Big Ten is split into the East Division and the West Division. Ohio State, Michigan, Penn State are all in the same division. They are in the East Division. Because they're split into 2 divisions, only one team from each division can go to the Big Ten championship game. So by virtue of Penn State beating Ohio State earlier, they are in the driver's seat ahead of Penn State to get to the Big Ten championship game. Michigan has one loss. They lost to some other Big Ten team that I can't remember. I believe, but they did beat Penn State that year. Just with the way the tiebreakers work, Ohio State needs to, I can't remember exactly. Oh, no. So Michigan beat Penn State. So Michigan needs to beat Ohio State to get to the Big Ten championship game.
I always thought like that kind of system is so confusing to me. Like my dad would always be like, we need this. He's like, because we're North Dakota, Minnesota, like the Vikings.
Mm-hmm.
My dad's like, I don't like the Packers, but I need the Packers to win this game so that Minnesota can go on or something like that.
Right.
It's like stuff like that's like so crazy to me.
Yes. This is going to be an audio terrifying
I've been
episode.
trying to mute every time.
So yes, this is a big game because it's a rivalry. Michigan needs to win this game to go to the Big Ten championship. If Ohio State beats Michigan, Penn State goes to the Big Ten championship. You go to the Big Ten championship and you win, you're in the college football playoff. It's a very, very, very important game for Michigan. So, with that, let's go to the game. 2016's the installment of the game, an instant classic. Starts off with a scoreless first quarter. It's a classic slugfest Big Ten football game. Defense is reigning supreme to start this game off. Michigan opens the scoring with a 28-yard field goal, make it 3-0. Ohio State responds with a pick six to make it 7-3. Michigan then scores late in the second quarter. They score a touchdown. It is 10-7 Wolverines going into halftime.
Can I clarify? A pick six, by the way,
Oh, yes.
for our less football inclined people, is when you get an interception and you take it all the way to your end zone for a touchdown.
Correct. It's a defensive touchdown.
Exactly.
Yes, it is a momentum swinging play.
It's one of the most insane things that can happen in a football game.
Correct. Quick note, this football game, 2016, at Ohio Stadium, is the stadium attendance record. There was 110,045 people in this stadium to watch this game, in case you're wondering how important this game is to the people of Ohio and Michigan. Coming out of the half, Michigan extends their lead to 17-7. OSU responds with a touchdown drive of their own. It's 17-14 now. Michigan's still in the lead. Ohio State kicker Tyler Durbin with the game on the line. No time left on the clock as he kicks this football, kicks it right through. It's a 23-yard field goal to tie the game at 17-17. We're going to overtime, Caleb.
In the game. 2016 is the game.
This game has been going on since 1897, Caleb. This is the first overtime game in the history of this rivalry.
That's kind of crazy. Well, overtime has been a thing since football has been around, though, right? Or
not necessarily. Overtime has been around since, I want to say, the 90s.
Okay, so it's
It's not as crazy as it sounds.
Yeah, okay, but still, like if you didn't know that, that'd be insane.
Right. So we go to overtime. The way college football overtime works, each team gets the ball on the plus 25-yard line, and you just try and score whatever points you can. It doesn't matter if Michigan will get the ball first and they'll score. That's okay. Ohio State gets the chance to respond. Excuse me. So that's exactly what happens. They both trade touchdowns in the first overtime. We are now at 24-24. Tie game going into double overtime. And Michigan, they get the ball to open double overtime, and they can't get a first down. They can't get in the end zone, so they have to kick a field goal. And they do successfully. They successfully kick a 37-yard field goal in double overtime to take the lead at 27-24. Yes, 27-24. So now Ohio State gets the ball back. If they can, worst case scenario, they kick a field goal. We go to triple overtime, score a touchdown, game's over. So Ohio State gets the ball at the 25. After 3 plays, they are not able to get a first down. It is 4th and 1. So they could just do what Michigan did, kick the field goal, go to triple overtime, live to fight another day. Urban Meyer, Ohio State head coach, decides, I don't want to do that because
he's a gambler.
He's an offensive guy. He wants to stick it to Michigan. Ohio State has, at this point, won 4 or 5 games in a row against Michigan. He wants to keep that misery going. He says, screw it, we're going for it on 4th and 1. Ohio State calls a quarterback run, and Ohio State quarterback J.T. Barrett runs up the middle. He's met at the line of scrimmage by a Michigan defender and is spun wildly into the back of one of his own O-linemen, who is right at the first down marker. And he falls flat down on the first down marker. Officials on the field blow the play dead to spot the football. And it's too close to decide. They can't tell just on the field, so they go and review it. And rather controversially, there's no good camera angles of this play. The best one is from behind, but just the way angles work, you can't really tell.
Because it's like
he looks
opposite direction of where the line is.
Right, he looks farther forward than he probably actually is. But the call in the field was first down, and after a lengthy review, the officials decided, yeah, he got it. First down, Ohio State. They get to keep going. The game's still going. Michigan fans were very, very upset about this. They thought the game was over. They thought they had just knocked off their rival for the first time in years. Not so fast. Ohio State gets another chance, and on the very next play, Ohio State running back Curtis Samuel scores a 15-yard touchdown in double overtime to win 30-27. Ohio Stadium goes into a frenzy. Fans rush the field. It is a momentous occasion for the Ohio State Buckeyes.
So 55,000 people just rushed that stage or the field.
This was a very important. I had mentioned the stakes from Michigan. So Michigan lost. They're not going to the Big Ten championship game anymore. Penn State, congratulations. They would go on to win the Big Ten championship. However, because of this win for Ohio State over their rival Michigan, who's a very good football team, Ohio State was 11-1. They didn't make the Big Ten championship game, but they were elected into the 4-team college football playoff field. Michigan was not, and Penn State, the Big Ten champion, was left out of the playoff field, despite the fact that they beat Ohio State.
That's so odd.
The playoff committee decided, you know what, Penn State's better, or Penn State isn't as good as Ohio State, so Ohio State gets to go in. Obviously, this is very controversial at the time, leaving out a conference champion for a team that the conference champion beat early in the season. It wouldn't matter. Ohio State, with granted a new life on their season, would get blown out in the playoff by Clemson, 31-0. Clemson was the eventual national champion. They were very, very good that year. And Michigan, their misery continued for one more game. They would lose to Florida State in a New Year's Six bowl game. So both teams ended up on the short end of the stick in the end.
May I ask,
Mm-hmm.
since you watched this game, what do you think that was the right call to make?
The call, if I remember correctly, I believe they gave him the first down, and then they went to review it to be sure. And I don't think after review that they moved the football forward or backwards. They were just, yep, he's there, first down. It was just one of those plays where it's so close, you just have to go with the call on the field, and the call on the field was first down. And the thing is, if you're Michigan and Michigan takes a lot of pride in their defense, you got to stop them. You have the lead. All you got to do is stop them, or at least hold them to a field goal. What you could argue they did that, but that's gambling. That's just the way it works.
Yeah. And I mean, I'm not like, I haven't watched this game, whatever. I feel like that is the right call too, because there is that of, hey, you get this. That was weird. You get this chance to like still go, but the other team still has a chance to stop. Whereas you're not deciding a winner yet.
Right.
When you say it's a first down, but you are if you're saying it's not a first down.
It was a game-changing play in the sense. It'd be different if the officials were like, "Oh, he was short. Turnover on downs, Michigan ball, game over. Well, hold on, let's review this. Oh, actually, we're going to move the ball forward a little bit and give Ohio State the first down. Let's keep this game going." That would have been controversial. But I do think it's one of those cases where if the ball had been spotted short and they go to review it, they would have kept it short and Michigan would have won the game. It's one of those. You got one fan base who's like, they made the right call, and the other fan base, we got screwed. We've all been there. Yeah. Quick note after the game, Jim Harbaugh was fined $10,000 because he did criticize the officials for their judgment in the post-game press conference.
And then he cheated.
They would end up with the last laugh in the end, yes. So, that is our second game. The game.
The game.
Any comments, opinions?
No, I think I like the game. I do think that was the right call though. Yes, yeah.
Without seeing it.
Yeah, without seeing it. It's like it is that fact of like you, especially for such like a huge rivalry game too. You are like this. You're not fully deciding the game when you say you're going first down, but you are saying this team is winning. So hey, you still get another chance to stop them.
Right. It's old history at this point, but I lean that it was probably right given the call on the field. So we're going a little bit longer than I thought we were going to, and
that might not be a short episode.
and we just, I mean, not that the other two weren't funny or interesting, but this game is one of my favorite college football games of all time that we're about to talk about. We're going to talk about our topic number 3, a game that happened on November 30th, 2013, between number 1 Alabama and number 4 Auburn. Yes, I am talking about the Kick Six.
This is one that I've heard of. I don't know the details of, but I've definitely heard of this.
Well, you're going to learn today.
I'm excited for this one.
This matchup is a classic SEC rivalry, Alabama versus Auburn. It is called the Iron Bowl. Why is it called the Iron Bowl? That's a fantastic question, Caleb. This game in its inception used to be played in Birmingham, Alabama every single year. Birmingham, Alabama used to rival the city of Pittsburgh when it came to manufacturing and being an industrial city.
The Steelers.
Correct. The Steelers, the Iron Curtain, Pittsburgh Steelers defense. One of Auburn's old head coaches in an interview was asked, what do you think about, your team's prospects this season and the fact that you won't be playing in a bowl game at the end of the year? And the Auburn head coach goes, we will be playing in a bowl game. We're playing in the Iron Bowl. He was referencing their yearly rivalry game against Alabama in Birmingham, the Steel City of the South. Mm-hmm. So that's where the Iron Bowl comes from.
What a cool bowl name.
I do have notes in here. You've heard of Roll Tide, correct?
Yes.
Roll Tide, that is Alabama fans is
it's
calling. They're chant, their
And they're
saying.
red. They're
Yeah,
red. And then Tennessee's orange.
Tennessee is orange, yes. Auburn is also orange. Do you know
I did not know that.
orange and blue? So if Alabama fans say "Roll Tide," do you know what all the Auburn fans respond with?
No, I don't.
They respond with "War Eagle." I don't know the history of the War Eagle, but before kickoff of every Auburn football game, they have a guy or girl come down there with an eagle on their arm, and the eagle goes and they flies all the way around the stadium, and it comes back and lands on there. They're the Auburn Tigers. I don't know where the War Eagle came from, but
they'd be some with the tiger. The only thing I know about that too is the Dixieland Delight chants.
That is an Alabama thing, yes.
Mm-hmm.
So Roll Tide, War Eagle. Alabama leads the series all time, 51-37. There was one tie once upon a time. This game has been going on ever since 1893.
Oh, so even older.
Even older. All right, Alabama's season up until this point in 2013. Alabama, they are the back-to-back reigning national champions. They came into the season not only the favorite to win the SEC, but to go and win their third consecutive national championship. It would have been unprecedented, very historic. The last time there was a national champion in 3 consecutive seasons is all the way back in 1936 by, you guessed it, the Minnesota Golden Gophers.
Ooh, little proximity.
That was the last time they were good. Not far from the truth. So yes, Bama, they're great. They're awesome. It's a classic Nick Saban team. They suffocate you on defense. They do just enough on offense. They're kicking the crap out of everybody. Auburn's season up until this point. First-year coach Gus Malzahn. He'd been their offensive coordinator for a few years prior. This is his first crack at the apple. Auburn last season was 3-9, and they were winless in the Southeastern Conference. It was their worst season in 60 years. I had mentioned that Auburn is now currently the number 4 team in the country. You can't be number 4 if you're bad, right?
Mm-hmm.
Well,
unless everybody else.
Auburn has been kicking the crap out of all the bad teams and just sneaking by all those good teams that they played.
Like the winning by 3 points or something like that.
Winning by a score, maybe 10 points. They did lose to LSU. They have one blemish on their schedule. Alabama is undefeated currently. This is another situation where, like in the last segment regarding the Big Ten, the SEC was also used to be split into the East and the West for their divisions. LSU's in the West. They don't factor in here. But it does mean that Auburn does have one conference loss. Alabama's undefeated. They have no conference losses. Auburn and Alabama are both in the SEC East, I want to say. Yes, SEC East. So essentially, whoever wins this game goes to the SEC championship game. Okay. Alabama wins. They're undefeated in the SEC. They're undefeated overall. They go to the SEC championship game. Auburn goes to the SEC championship game if they win, because they would both have one loss, but Auburn would have the head-to-head over Alabama. Hence, Auburn gets into the SEC championship game.
They'd both be tied, but they beat the team.
The head-to-head, it matters in some realms in the college football world. Yeah, that's kind of the lead up there. Quick note, in the game prior to this game, which was 2 weeks ago because Auburn had a bye in the week before this. So 2 weeks ago, in Auburn's last football game they played, they improved to 10-1 by beating Georgia. And this game is dubbed the Prayer at Jordan Hare.
They're back-to-back named games.
Back-to-back named games. Jordan Hare Stadium is where the Auburn Tigers play. So the Prayer at Jordan Hare, essentially Georgia was in the driver's seat to beat Auburn, but Auburn quarterback Nick Marshall throws up an absolute prayer to one of his better receivers, Ricardo Lewis, and Ricardo Lewis is running after the ball down the field, and there's 2 Georgia defenders in front of him, and the Georgia defenders run into each other trying to intercept the ball. The ball pops up into the air. Ricardo Lewis keeps running, doesn't know where the ball is, and he looks up, and the ball just falls right into his hands, and he runs into the end zone to take the lead.
Oh my gosh, that's awesome.
The prayer at Jordan Hare. That is why this game is even important nationally in the first place, because Auburn probably shouldn't be in this situation. First-year head coach, by the way. All right, let's get to the game. And I have a lot of notes. We will try to move quick. The 2013 Iron Bowl, the greatest play in college football history. Alabama opens the game by going down the field. Good drive, but they stall out in the red zone, which is the 20-yard line and in, for those that are unaware. They attempt a 44-yard field goal. Their kicker, he misses it. This is important.
So they're technically, if they do a good touchdown, if every team does a good touchdown from here on out, they're tied. They're down by 1.
How do you mean?
They went for not a point after.
No,
Oh,
field
okay.
goal.
Okay. Sorry,
So,
never mind.
yeah,
Never mind.
so they didn't score. They stalled out.
Yeah.
They settled for a field goal.
Gotcha.
It's 0-0. Alabama tries to kick a field goal. Their kicker, he misses it. I have his name down somewhere. It's Cade Foster. Cade Foster, he's the Alabama kicker. He misses a 44-yard field goal. Remember this. Auburn then takes the lead. First lead of the game, 45-yard quarterback run by Nick Marshall, 7-0 after the first quarter. This was the first offensive touchdown by Auburn against Alabama in 3 years.
Oh, so it's pretty important.
Yes, Alabama's been whipping them. Auburn's fighting back. Alabama would open the second quarter with 21 consecutive points.
Okay, guys, you gotta lock in here.
At this point in the game, I think both fan bases are just like, yes, this is what it's supposed to be like. It's 21-7 Alabama until Auburn finds life on an 81-yard touchdown drive to end the second quarter. Halftime score is 21-14 Alabama. Auburn receives the second half kickoff. They drive down the field and they tie the game at 21. It's a fight, Caleb. Rivalry football. Alabama, to open the fourth quarter, would make a field goal. Cade Foster would kick the field goal through the yellow uprights to go 24-21, except there was a false start on Alabama. So they waved the kickoff. They moved the ball 5 yards back because of the penalty on the offense. Cade Foster kicks the football again, and he misses.
I think I'm starting to see why it's called the kick.
You're probably onto something there, Caleb. Cade Foster is now 0 for 2 on field goals in this football game for Alabama. Kicking and Alabama used to be a meme back in the day because they were really good, but the one thing they weren't good at was kicking. This is one of those moments. Auburn couldn't capitalize on the miss. They would have to punt the football, but it was a good punt. They pinned Alabama on their own 1 yard line.
Oh, that's a nice punt.
Great special teams play. Auburn's got a good defense. This is prime positioning for Auburn to really shift the momentum of this game. So, naturally, Alabama quarterback A.J. McCarron throws a 99-yard touchdown pass to Amari Cooper to take a 28-21 lead.
Thanks, guys. We see the motivation.
That could have been the craziest series of plays in this game. Could have been. Could have been one for the record books if only there was more. But wait.
We still have 2 more quarters.
There is. Both teams traded turnover on downs, so they didn't want to punt the football. They elected to try to get the fourth down. They didn't get the fourth down. Now the other team gets the ball. Alabama had the ball at one point on this trading of turnover on downs on Auburn's 13-yard line. So if they had elected to kick a field goal in that situation, it'd have been like a 30-yard field goal attempt. But I think Nick Saban, Alabama head coach, was like, my kicker can't do shit.
He's missed 2 so far.
So they decided to go for it. They got stopped. That will be important. Bama eventually, so Auburn stops them deep in their own territory. Auburn can't go anywhere. Bama gets the ball back. Now Alabama's driving again to really just put ice on this game. Auburn stops them short of the end zone, and Alabama decides, okay, fine. This time we will go for a field goal to make it a 31-21 game. This kick gets blocked by Auburn.
So it's not even his fault this time.
This kick is blocked by Auburn. Cade Foster's now 0 for 3 on field goal attempts. His confidence is in the drain, in the gutter.
Do they have a second kicker?
Oh boy, do they. With momentum off this blocked field goal, Auburn would go down and tie the game at 28 with 32 seconds left on a 39-yard touchdown pass. An absolute miracle series of events to even get to this point where it's tied with 32 seconds left in the game. Bama would get the kickoff, and they would eventually dink and dunk and run their way all the way down to Auburn's 38-yard line. T.J. Yeldon, the running back for Alabama, is pushed out of bounds by Auburn defensive back Chris Davis. Remember the name Chris Davis.
Chris Davis.
He's pushed out of bounds with no time left on the clock. So, okay, it's 20-28, no time left on the clock. Let's go to overtime. Well, Nick Saban thought there was 1 second left on the clock. He is barking at the referee saying there's 1 second left. He wants one more play. The officials go, they look at the clock, and sure enough, after review, TJ Yeldon steps out of bounds with... All right.
And we're back.
And
Sorry, little technical issues.
Little technical issue. So we left off TJ Yeldon, running back for Alabama, getting pushed off out of bounds by Auburn defensive back Chris Davis with no time on the clock. Nick Saban says, hold on. He starts barking at the refs. Look, you better look at that again. There's 1 second left. Officials review. Sure enough, there's 1 second left. When TJ Yeldon's foot steps out of bounds, the refs put 1 second left on the clock. Auburn fans were not happy about this. They were pissed. Fans were booing. They wanted this game to go to overtime. They didn't want Alabama to have another chance at taking the lead to end the game, to win the game, because that's just what the series has been in recent years. Alabama always wins. They always find a way out of it. So there's a couple there's a decision that Nick Saban has to make. They're on the 38-yard line of Auburn. This is a long field goal. It ends up being a 57-yard field goal attempt that they go for.
So that'd be over half the field.
Yes.
Yeah.
It's a very long field goal. He could have decided to put his offense out there and go for a Hail Mary. Mm-hmm. He could have put his offense out there and just kneeled the ball down. And we're going to overtime. Screw it. He decides he wants to kick a field goal to win the game.
And they have not been having great field goal success so far.
For this game-winning field goal attempt with 1 second left, game tied at 28, Nick Saban decides to pull his starting kicker in Cade Foster, and he decides to put out, he was a freshman kicker. Where is he? I have his name here somewhere. Adam Griffith. He puts in Adam Griffith. He's a freshman kicker. I don't think he has a field goal attempt on the season. 57-yard field goal. Now remember, one of these kicks was blocked earlier by Auburn. Knowing this, Alabama puts all of their biggest offensive linemen out there that they can to make sure nobody on Auburn is able to get through and block this kick. So, with a freshman kicker and max protection of this kicker, the kick goes up and the kick falls just short of the field goal post. It lands in the hands of an Auburn player by the name of Chris Davis.
Ah, the guy who knocked the
running back out of bounds.
Mm-hmm.
Chris Davis catches this ball with his heel 6 inches away from the out of bounds line at the back of the end zone. He proceeds to outrun all these very slow Alabama offensive linemen 109 yards all the way back for a game-winning touchdown.
That's insane.
Auburn wins the football game. The fans would storm the field. It was one of the craziest moments in the history of college football. There's many good videos on this kick. I would encourage you to go watch the highlights of the game. It is one of the craziest games I've ever watched.
Is that where that audio thing of Auburn wins the football game?
Yes.
Auburn wins the football game.
That is
okay.
that exact clip.
Okay.
I was watching this game with my dad.
Ooh.
Fun fact. That's why I remember it so well.
That's gonna be insane to see live.
It was I couldn't believe it, to be honest with you. 13-year-old me was amazed to say the least. It's it's crazy. Chris Davis was never even supposed to be in the game to catch this missed field goal attempt, but defensive coordinator for Auburn, Ellis Johnson, goes up to first-year head coach Gus Malzahn and says, "Hey, Chris Davis, he's our punt returner. There's no way this kid makes this kick. Put him in the back. Just give him a chance if he gets the ball." So shout out to Ellis Johnson for even having that happen. Some aftermath after this game. Auburn would, because of the win, goes to the SEC championship game. They beat Missouri. They're SEC champions. They go to the national title game. They play Florida State. They would lose to Florida State in the national title game. It is one of the greatest national title games of all time. Underrated. Fantastic game. Alabama would go on to lose to Oklahoma in the Sugar Bowl.
Another one of those bowls.
Another one of those bowls. So that's my college football hate week, Caleb. I apologize that it took a little bit longer than I anticipated.
No, it's perfect because my topic, I was scared. It might not reach that 30-minute mark, but I was very, very interested in all those games, and I will have to go watch that last play.
Auburn's gonna win the football game.
Yeah, that sounds awesome.
All right, Caleb, what do you got for me?
So, Austin, I realized I with Thanksgiving, tried to find a great topic for this Thanksgiving holiday. So we're talking about Black Friday.
Of course.
Yes. So I have a couple of fun facts that I'm going to give you right after I talk about some Black Friday nonsense involving some video games.
All right, I'm interested. Let's go.
So, you know the Xbox 360.
I had one myself.
Yes, same. One of the best consoles ever made.
Facts.
So, if you did not know, Black Friday used to be an insane holiday.
It used to be unreal. Yeah.
Like, so insane. The videos you would see, particularly of 2007 and 2008, where the Xbox 360 was on sale for $199. Now, typically the Xbox was on sale for $399.
So it was a big deal.
Oh, huge deal. And 2007, this was the year that both Halo 3 and Call of Duty 4, the Call of Duty that probably started it all, were released.
Big time video games.
People were grasping at it. They were going crazy for this thing.
And was Halo Xbox exclusive at that time?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
And this was also bolstered by the fact that PlayStation 3 never went on sale for Black Friday.
Interesting.
It still stated that because Microsoft and Sony like to keep those prices pretty next to each other here.
Right.
So yeah, that was still at $399. This particularly the 2007, but also the 2008 Black Friday season. For 2007, some stores only had 20 consoles or less.
Oh boy.
And you know that the crowds for Black Friday, especially back in the early 2000s, were by the sometimes thousands.
Right.
Now you think a bunch of these soccer moms, gamers, and alcoholic dads alike, they need to get their kids these Christmas presents.
Right.
The lines of these buildings, I'll give an example. There was one Walmart. The line wrapped around the building twice and blocked traffic.
That's so stupid. I don't even if if I can't see the front door, I'm going home.
Exactly. No, people would go crazy. No, and that was one of the more like tamed Black
Yeah.
Friday experiences at this Walmart. So, typically, there's many videos of this. I reckon you all go look up the early 2000s Black Friday videos. They're insane. There's videos of people running full sprint towards the electronics section because that's typically what people want to get
Mm-hmm.
here, especially the gaming section, where they would be fighting with each other and sometimes even employees for these Xbox consoles. There's videos of employees getting into fistfights because the customers are rushing them and they can only defend themselves, only to get fired later by the stores like Walmart and Best Buy and Target.
But yeah, it's just not a good situation to be in.
No. All right. Some games would go as low as new games, by the way, would go as low as $5. Think about around this time, $60 was still that
$5?
$5
That's
for some
insane.
new games.
I'd run after the new Modern Warfare for that.
Exactly. Like these deals used to be insane. It ain't like it is now. Yes. One Walmart had employees form a human chain around the electronics section, like linking arms, blocking customers from getting in. As it's like a horde of zombies
If I'm one of those employees, you can't pay me enough
for minimum wage,
to
most
do-
likely.
You can't pay me enough to do that.
In fact, these Black Fridays were so bad that in 2008, a 38-year-old Walmart employee, I'm gonna butcher this name, Jadim, I learned how to pronounce. I looked up how to pronounce this. I'm butchering it now. Jadim Mitai Domar died after he was asked by his employer to use his 6'5" frame as a blocker to for a crowd of 2,000 people. And there were reports of customers annoyed that the lines were so long when they were questioned if they were sad that the man died. That's all they could think about. Black Friday is insane.
Yeah.
Yes. This would also ring true for when the Wii was released in 2006.
Okay. Yeah.
The similar things would happen, and you could up until about give or take the last 5 years. This is what Black Friday looked like, pretty much everywhere.
I've gone shopping on Black Friday before, but it's always in the afternoon. I've never gotten up early enough to be in some sort of situation like that. Nor does it sound envious, or do I want to be?
See, well, now we get to reports of some people waiting outside of stores on the Wednesday or even earlier before Black Friday, missing their Thanksgiving dinner with families pleading for them to join. But no, they need those deals.
Yeah. Again, another thing I can't, especially up here. It gets too cold, man. I ain't camping out outside of Walmart.
Exactly. No, 100%. I want to talk about as well here. Thank God your section went on so long. I did not have much.
I was hustling too.
This is the Great GameStop Brawl of 2011.
See, sports aren't the only place that fights happen on this episode, on this podcast.
This is another situation where GameStop was offering super low discounts on their games, some as low as $5 again for new games. Older games that were about like a year or two old or more, going as far as $1.
I'd be thrilled about a $60 game being like $40. Like I'd be thrilled.
Exactly. So, again, these stores don't learn. Stock for the consoles, especially at this store, were extremely low. Like we're talking, like not as low as 20, but like there's a crowd of 1,000 people out there, and you have maybe like 50 to 100.
It's not going to be enough, regardless.
Yeah, exactly, exactly. So, yeah, this was a very small store at GameStop. Employees tried holding the door shut until the time of opening, but the crowd was trying to push in before the store was opening. There was such a mass of people. The metal frame on the door frame bent damaging the property because of the amount of people that were pushing by. And keep in mind, this is about 15 minutes to 20 minutes before opening.
People just can't wait.
Exactly. It's like they're not going to sell it to you, by the way.
Right.
Like, you got to wait for them. But when they did open the store, one employee described it as a literal wave of people entering, like a whoosh, as people climbed over each other, some sliding, knocking into display sections, crashing down below them. A lot of the merchandise was just straight up destroyed because of this wave of people. The store filled so much, it was like a frat party in like the weekend before Thanksgiving.
The thing is, say you're one of these first people to get in line and to get one of these consoles. What's stopping somebody waiting outside the store from like sucker punching you and stealing this console and running away with it?
There were reports of brawls between customers, like fighting over consoles, by the way.
Mm-hmm.
And luckily no employees were injured, but the manager had to yell at the crowd, and they actually listened. After about the 10 minutes of brawling and fighting ensued. Yes. But yeah, for those few 10 minutes, little did stop the crowd.
Yeah.
Until the manager came out and said, "We're not selling to you all until you calm down."
Right.
And then we have a little fun thing. The PS4 Pro in 2019 accidentally getting listed for $99. Austin, you worked customer service. I worked customer service. I want to include the story just because how bad this is for bad this turned out for customer service people. There was a report of a store, not a Best Buy, not a Target, not a Walmart. So just a third party retailer actually listing their price of their PlayStation 4 Pros for $99 instead of the intended price of $399 that all other stores were listing them as.
It's a big difference.
Huge. Keep in mind the PS4 Pro is probably about $500 to $600 this time. So that $399 was about $100 off.
Right.
This was about $400 off.
Still just even at $399, so expensive.
I know. Yes. This resulted in a wave of phone calls to the store's headquarters and Sony demanding that they honor the price of these PlayStation 4s. This was hell for the stores. I can't remember I don't think they listed what store it was, but for the customer service lines where they had over 100 calls holding at one time. The wait times were estimated to be when the customer called was 3 hours.
That's insane.
And people didn't let up.
Uh-huh.
Because they want these for their kids, for their family members.
10 minutes is considered an eternity for a wait time. I can't imagine 3 hours. Yeah, no thanks.
Never mind. This was at Best Buy, by the way. I didn't write this is a Best Buy. I forgot I had that at the end. So Best Buy's customer service,
yeah,
was on hold, or there was hundreds of calls on hold for over 3 hour wait.
That's ridiculous.
So, Black Friday for gaming is insane. Was insane.
Right.
Now it's very chill.
It's chiller. I feel like part of the reason it's gotten more chill is the deals aren't what they used to be.
Mm-hmm.
You know?
Yeah. They don't. I mean, that $399. That's like chump change compared to like half off Xbox 360 essentially.
Mm-hmm. And so I understand. Even then, I just don't get it, dude. I don't get the whole Black Friday thing. There's 365 days in a year, and it seems like we're working in customer service for the past 2.5 years. People only want to buy shit on Black Friday and Cyber Monday.
Mm-hmm.
It's like, come on, man. Like,
Yeah. I think Cyber Monday actually did kill a lot of those deals.
I agree with that too. That
Which,
probably makes a big difference as far as, storefronts and seeing people in the stores all the time and lines around the twice wrapping around the block.
yeah, I know my section is going to be very short. I just want to go through a few fun facts about the kind of Thanksgiving weekend as well here.
All right, give it to me, Caleb.
So, did you know that mobile games see an average of 148% increase in playtime during the Thanksgiving weekend?
It's okay. I don't want to listen to my uncle talk politics either. So
It's I was like I definitely play like a mobile game when I'm just sitting there because like it's way easier just like be on your phone.
I will probably be playing a lot of Gardenscapes tomorrow.
Ooh, Gardenscape.
Yeah.
Ooh, did I take you for a Gardenscape?
I'm close to like level 1800 on that game.
Oh my god. Steam sees over 6 million users logged in at one time over the Thanksgiving weekend.
Size of a small nation.
It's insane. That's like at one time. That's
Yeah.
not overall. I didn't see the number of overall, but yeah, 6 million people at one time essentially just buying or playing games. It's mostly buying and then playing the game that you just bought.
Mm-hmm.
The average gamer will see up to an increase of 80% of players over the weekend.
Makes sense.
So the amount of like just players in general increased by 80%
Mm-hmm.
over the weekend. 51% of purchases for games are not buying a game for another person.
So half the games that get bought are gifts.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, just slightly over that. And then if you play video games, you're in this group. 57% of gamers will buy a game or a console over the Thanksgiving weekend.
I'm trying to think if I don't know if I will. I haven't played a lot of video games lately, but I definitely have bought in video games over this weekend before.
Yeah, it's like so over the majority buys something over
Right.
Thanksgiving weekend here. This one is insane. Game sales in general, just over this weekend, will rise to over 110,000%. Or sorry, or 1,010%. Sorry.
Still,
Sorry. Yeah.
still, I thought you were going to say 110%. I'm like, okay, that seems somewhat reasonable. No, over 10 times the amount of sales.
It's insane. And then, of all the sales that go on for Black Friday deals, 18% of them will be related to video games. So that's games, consoles, and like controllers and stuff like that.
It's the only Black Friday shopping I ever cared about.
Exactly. Which is kind of insane when you think about it too, where there's like TVs, appliances,
I was gonna make a comment on that. Like we've all seen videos of people fighting over TVs, Black Friday videos, electronics like that, and then you can just walk into Walmart today and buy a 50-inch for a couple $100.
No, did you see that thing of like everything has gotten more expensive
Except for TVs.
except for TVs? Like if it keeps the trend right now, like a 75-inch TV will cost like $100 in like 20 years or something like that.
That would be kind of insane. That's the rise of phones and other devices for you, I guess. But if you can't furnish an apartment with a TV, that's just your fault at this point.
Well, it's seriously like we have a 65-inch out there, which I think is a very
It's a big TV.
It did not break my bank at all.
Yeah.
And I don't have like a ton of money to just throw around.
And people used to throw fists over shit like that.
Oh yeah. Well, I did want to mention too. I did mention in that GameStop one, for these Xboxes.
Mm-hmm.
I think it was 5% of all Xboxes that were sold on Black Friday were unsellable because people were fighting over them and get crushed. I think it was a little under 5%. It's like 4 point whatever. But
Yeah, that's sad.
Like, which is think about how many were sold too.
Right, yeah.
That's an insane amount.
New meaning to the Red Ring of Death.
Like a literal ring in the Walmart. Yeah, that's honestly that's how short my section was. I really tried to find some more things. I do want to say too. I didn't write this down. A lot of games do also have Thanksgiving themes, like their Stardew Valley's Thanksgiving Fest. Typically, games like Call of Duty and other multiplayer games will have their double XP or event weekends for Thanksgiving. World of Warcraft has a turkey hunt, I think it is. It's kind of fun. They put on every year. A lot of streamers will do their like turkey bowl
Yeah.
of during Thanksgiving, because if you didn't know, the holidays are between November and December. That's the most amount of like money you'll make as a content creator.
I could see it.
Yeah, it's like I think it's literally something like that is your actual busy season, because people are on break. They're not playing, or they're not working as much. They don't have school, all that. I do think that is a part of the reason with the increase of these like games being bought and the playtime of just like people have more time during the holidays to just do stuff.
Right.
I do know too. There are. I know we are trying to keep this podcast as like, or we kind of shifted from news, but I recommend you, if you guys like video games, whatever. There will be, as you see with Steam, PlayStation, Xbox, Nintendo. They'll all have nice Black Friday deals. So if you are looking for a game, I would wait till Friday here, and you'll probably see a game that you want. And luckily, digital games don't have stock.
Yeah.
Yeah. You'll be okay. You just have essentially just a key you can buy.
The advent of digital games is nice in that sense.
You don't. Yeah, you almost always know that the game you're gonna buy is
right. It's
gonna be in stock.
It's double edged. As long as the game's out and you have the money, you can buy it. You can play it all you want. But man, those download times suck ass. That's the one thing I miss about discs. You just pop that in and rock and roll, baby.
I remember too. Like, this is more of a Christmas talk, but like getting a game on Christmas and being like, or like you get the money to get a game on Christmas, you're like, I gotta wait like an hour to play it.
Yeah. Yep.
I still remember when I got my Xbox One, I got Assassin's Creed Black Flag with it. I was like, because I think Xbox One was like, and the PS4 was like the first generation where like, yeah, you couldn't just pop it right in. You had to like download a little bit.
Did something, yeah.
Yeah.
Not as bad as
not
some
as bad
games
as
today.
Oh.
But yeah. No, that's one thing I definitely miss about being a kid is Christmas morning and all the games, or every once in a while the console that my parents definitely bought around this time of year.
Oh, I noticed that too. So my mom, she bought me when I was little. She bought me a PlayStation 4. When I was little, I was like little-ish.
Yeah, it came out just before high school.
Yeah, so I was still like kiddie, and I still remember like when she told me like, yeah, like I bought this like a month ago for way cheaper. I was like, how do you even keep that? Like, I don't know how to keep presents like from people.
Yeah.
So yeah, go out, have some turkey, buy some games, watch some football, right?
Watch some football, watch some college football hate week. I will be watching the NFL tomorrow. That'll be another way I distract myself from all my cousins asking me the same questions I've answered 1,000 times before.
and that'll be the thing that I watch when everybody else is talking, and I'll be playing on my phone.
Yes. So I guess that probably about wraps it up. We're actually probably right about normal timing.
I think we are. So this is not a short episode. I will not be cutting that because it's kind of funny now. So thank you for listening to the Thanksgiving episode of Balls and Blasters.
Make sure to catch us on YouTube, Spotify, Apple Podcasts. We also have an Instagram. We have a TikTok. Eventually, one of these days, we'll upload some new content to our Instagram and to our YouTube Shorts and TikTok and all that stuff. But we figured we would get this done for you guys. We were kind of excited about doing a holiday themed episode. We apologize if it felt a little bit rushed. We're kind of excited to go out and see a bunch of people.
Yeah, and it's also been very busy too. So also we're not notifying. I think we didn't do it this week, but I think the plan is to notify you on Instagram and all that a little bit later after the episode releases. So if you do want to catch the episodes right away, I recommend hitting that bell button and subscribing so you'll get notified whenever we do release a new episode, because I know our release times are a little wonky.
Right. Algorithm talk. Yeah. Boring, I know. Yes, that's all I have. I don't think I have anything else to add.
I don't think I do, other than happy Thanksgiving. And then if you're listening from not the United States or Canada, I think Canada has their own Thanksgiving.
Correct.
As well, yeah, they do. Go eat some turkey in honor of America.
You do you, man. You go. You go.
You do it, man. Or woman.
Celebrate just the weekend by buying a video game, or maybe you're getting into college football. Watch some college football hate week. It's fun, I promise.
we have a 2% female viewer base as well. So you ladies out there, you do that as well. Lady, probably.
It all counts.
Might be my mom.
Shout out, Jen.
All right. Thank you for listening. Goodbye.
Bye.